We are live. Shari, can you see my slideshow okay?
I can.
Okay. Okay. It is 12:06. We're running a little bit late or a little bit behind. We had some technical difficulties. I apologize for the quality of my camera. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Katie Smith. I'm a homeownership counselor at Adair's Crestwell office, which is kind of in the Eugene area, mid-Willamette Valley, Oregon. So my jurisdictions include the surrounding Eugene areas, Lane County, Benton County, Douglas County, and then all the way over to the coast and south to Bandon. And my lovely co-host today, Shari, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am Shari Avery, the homeownership counselor out of the Treasure Valley location, which is southern Idaho, Boise, Idaho, all the way to Baker City, Mountain Home, McCall areas. So I kind of service it all as well.
That is a really large build area.
It is.
Okay, so we have a treat for you today. We are sharing a custom home. This is a large custom home with a daylight basement. And we want to talk a little bit about a couple of things. So before we jump in and show the video, we want to talk about the paths to going custom and options as far as building your dream home with Adair. And then we'll let the video play through all the way. It's by popular demand. We won't pause it the first round, and then we'll play through it again, and we'll kind of pause and point out what you're looking at. And then we'll just wrap up with the steps and the process and how it all comes together and where to start if you want to build with Adair. So I will leave this beautiful home in the background as we chat. But if you are considering a build, if you're interested in a build, you've likely gotten on our website already and you have seen all of our amazing floor plans and sorted through them and looked for ones that fit for you. And maybe there's a chance that you're not finding the perfect home. You're not finding what you're looking for or the one that's going to fit your needs the best. So Adair has multiple paths to customizing a home to get it where you need it, get the look you want, get the space you want, the layout you want. And those paths are as follows. So you can, of course, look at our plans. They are tried and true. Maybe there's one that's perfect, and that would not be surprising to me. Maybe there's one that's almost perfect, and maybe you want to add a bedroom or move a wall or reconfigure a little bit. So you would take one of our plans and just customize it slightly. Maybe you want to look through previous custom plans that customers have done. So say your land requires a daylight basement, or it's got really limited square footage options or dimensions options. So we can pull from our folder of previously done custom homes and send those through to you and say, hey, do any of these work? Maybe we can modify them slightly. Or last but not least, you draw up what you want, you draw up the dream, you send it to us, and we build off of your plans. So lots of options, lots of ways. Our program is just continually evolving to make sure that we're providing to you what you're looking for, which is amazing. So this home we're going to show today is fully custom. They loved our Cascades plan. They started kind of with that in mind, but they had a significant slope on this lot and they wanted to take advantage of that slope. So they did a walkout basement. Of course, there's other options. Some jurisdictions, Shari, can you do full basements in Idaho?
I can, full basements and daylight basements. It's pretty exciting. And, I want to piggyback real quick off what you said about the different floor plans and everything we do. I love to tell my buyers that I rarely hear no from corporate. So really the sky is the limit on what you can dream, we can build. So yeah.
I love that because there's a good chance that you are like us and you've been cutting out magazine pictures and looking at Pinterest for years and years and years. And so we want to make sure that you're not compromising or not able to get those things that you love and want. So I love that you added that. In my area, my build areas, we can't do full basements, but we can, however, do daylight basements depending on the slope. And then there's also options as far as mitigating slope, stepping the foundation, possibly digging out that pad to get flat. But I commonly hear things like, oh, I'm a little worried. We found this lot, but it's so sloped. I just don't know if we can build on it. And you can totally build on it. It's just a matter of how you want to mitigate that slope. So you have options. But Shari, anything to piggyback onto that as far as
Nope.
slope and what to do with it?
Nope, you're doing great.
Okay, all right. Well, of course, you know to interrupt me if you have thoughts when you think of them.
Of course.
But I think we'll go ahead and let this video play all the way through, just kind of casually giving our commentary as we go. It's a beautiful house. You can see that they're kind of just finishing up, so no landscaping yet, but the house is a treat. So we'll let it play, and then we'll play it again, and we'll talk about what you're seeing. And this was, let's see if it can get it going here. This was one of our older specs, so there have been a handful of changes since this house was ordered and built. Coming in, very similar to our Cascades plan. You've got this really grand foyer, and then that massive wall of windows is what you see when you walk in the door, and I absolutely love it. And to one side over here, you're going to see the den. That architectural trim package, so pretty. Shari, if you could build a house with Adair, what house would it be, to put you on the spot?
The Click-a-Tat. I love the closet so much.
Gosh, the closet in that house is bigger than a couple of the bedrooms in some of our other houses. It's amazing.
I know, and it's just the perfect layout too. Just like when we walk into this one, having that kitchen, dining, and living all open. I'm a person that loves to watch football while I'm cooking dinner. I don't want to be locked in the kitchen, so.
Of course, I don't feel surprised by that with you. This is just a massive formal dining room. I love these chandeliers so much. Keep it going, but I totally agree with you. That open concept, so even on the smaller homes, like the 1560, the Winchester plan, it feels so big when you walk into it just because you've got that kind of common space within that giant great room, open common space.
Oh, I love the niche they put in there for artwork and things.
Very cute. We've got our little half bath here, and they did convert the pedestal sink to a little vanity, so they've got some storage in there. And then we have primary suite. I love the luxury vinyl throughout. It's a beautiful floor. Lots of variance in it. It's kind of a vibe of its own. Big windows. That river view doesn't hurt anything. And we've got our primary bathroom, and this is a large bathroom. Lots of space in here. They've got that full tile shower all the way to the ceiling, drop-in tile tub, which of course this configuration is now standard, where if it's been a while since you've looked at Adair, we used to do a kind of a open space in the bathroom, and then you had an option to add a tub in the primary bath, and now that tub's just included. Big tub. They've got all those satin nickel Moen finishes, which is standard, of course. And then what I really love about this plan is the his and her bathrooms. Or, sorry, closets. Large his and her closets, yep. I personally wouldn't mind a his and her bathroom at my house, though, now that I think about it. Okay. So you're seeing
I love their shower. Sorry.
No. That was I totally agree. I just wanted to point out, so you're seeing kind of the touch-ups needed. So you'll see little pieces of tape on the wall next to like paint touch-ups required. So we got in here as close as we could to move in, but we didn't want to delay their move in. So there's still a few things left unfinished. Those 2-panel doors, which rumor is are going to be standard. I think it was a 2-panel square top though, wasn't it?
Yes.
Going to new standard doors, which is always exciting. New standards are exciting. And then
I can see why they picked this floor plan though. I mean, all those windows and that view that they're going to have of the river is just incredible.
It's amazing.
Oh, look at that island.
I know. First time I've seen this in one of our videos, that arched island cut. It's incredible.
Yes.
And that backsplash. I was waiting for someone to do that backsplash since the day it came into our design center. So I was so excited. Fireplace is beautiful in the corner there. It still had a little bit of trim work left to be done. But just from that great room, it just looks like you're sitting right in the river. It's so good. The whole thing, so good.
Oh, and they did the gourmet kitchen package,
Hmm.
which makes sense for all the area that where they're going to have to entertain and
Hmm.
hang out.
Agreed. Agreed. I just again love that luxury vinyl plank, that wide plank. I love it. And then this is a utility room. So just a massive amount of storage and space and folding counter, and I love it. And then of course they've got a big window in there too. First furnace is housed in there. Guest bathroom. Fiberglass tub shower combo is standard. The only upgrade in this room is that quartz countertop on the vanity.
They really took advantage of the natural light for their area. Like I just can't get over how many windows are in this house.
Hmm. I agree. And actually, with the Cascades plan, most of them are standard. I mean, of course,
Mm-hmm.
they had to add a few with their walkout basement, but that plane has a lot
Mm-hmm.
of window.
Yep.
Okay, heading upstairs now. So I guess technically this would be the third level if we're counting the basement. We've got a couple bedrooms up here and another bathroom. And then they did a really cool laundry chute up here, which I can't remember if the video shows it or not, but I was really excited about it. Just a nice, really, really large bedroom with a walk-in closet up here. And if I remember correctly, they had boys and one girl, and so their daughter was going to get this big room with the walk-in, which would technically be like a dual primary suite, so a multi-gen living situation. I mean, it's plenty large enough.
Yes, that's what I was just going to ask is was this the multi or the dual master suite? 'Cause I noticed the door when we walked in. So
Mhm. I think it's a
l-
slightly modified version, but yeah, just to play off of our standard option for the dual.
lucky girl.
No kidding, no kidding. Just that fiberglass shower insert. Some changes again, which also I think we'll stop and talk about the changes as we go through the second time. Sorry, but just a really pretty house.
Mm-hmm.
The laundry chute was kind of off behind that ladder, and it drops down into the just straight into that utility room.
I don't know
Nice
if I
view.
trust having one of those in my house.
You think
My
you're?
son would be dropping everything.
Yeah. I was wondering about the size of it. Like, could they fit little brother through it, or that, or you never know what's going to come through the other end.
Right.
Little bedroom here, and it's got just a standard closet with bypass doors and shelf and pull. And then another almost kind of a mirror image.
You know, I'm noticing as we're walking through, they did a lot of extra outlets as well. Anticipating the TV up high in each of these bedrooms and things like that. Very
Hmm.
smart to think about all those little things that you need or that you're going to want while we're building this house for you.
Absolutely. I agree. A lot of foresight there. There's
Hmm.
that standard fiberglass tub shower combo. I think about that a lot when people select like the Smurf tube option and they're kind of routing from their TV to where they intend to set their, furniture housing all of their DVRs and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, if I had that foresight when I was planning my house, it would have been impressive.
Hmm.
We've got the open rail. I love the open rail, and I love that there's a million options for it. So you can do your iron balusters rather than a wood, or you can do like a knot or a basket in iron. You've got all kinds of ways to customize it, or stain grade rather than a paint grade banister. Okay, so we've got a little bit of unfinished basement and a little bit of finished basement. You'll get a good feel for it. So, of course, this being the unfinished portion. And a client who is going custom can kind of pick and choose. So, hey, we don't want to pay to modify this portion of it. We want to leave it unfinished. We'll use it as storage, or maybe somebody down the road will upgrade it and finish the space. Or they can say, hey, we've got plans for it right off the bat. We want it to be move-in ready. Let's make it a finished space. I can't remember the plan for this or what was happening in this, but it's almost like a drop down again. So The bulk of the daylight basement was on one level, and then it went down a little bit more into that kind of storage space.
Yeah, they really used the utilization of their lot really well, trying to figure
Absolutely.
out.
And then look again, you're just right on the river. I mean, you've got from this unfinished room just spectacular views.
Yeah, like I said before, they're going to have some incredible get-togethers in this house. I can tell
Mhm.
already.
Agreed. Yeah, I might go and just stay a while.
See, and I like what you said earlier because you can see it here that they've got it plumbed in certain areas for when they're going to do a future bathroom and things like that. And
Mhm.
so those are definitely things we can always account for
Mhm.
during the process of building their home.
Absolutely, very smart. And we've had people plumb or prepare for like bar areas, like maybe it's going to
Hmm.
be a gaming room and they're going to have a full bar down there. So, and then you have the option where you can just kind of at your leisure finish the space when you're ready for it. Nice big covered patio here, and then they did this separate freestanding garage. And then our photographer had to take advantage of the views for a second, which I love. View from the back and then the side. Okay. Should we go again and this time pause and say all the things we want to say?
Of course.
Okay, let's let this play again. So before I push play again, we'll just start with the outside. And we'll talk a little bit about site prep at the end when we're done kind of getting through the home. But as a standard now, of course, Adair paints your home, and we use Sherwin-Williams paint. So you can say, hey, I would like to have these colors. You can pick from our standard schemes. We, in my area, we do gutters and downspouts. Shari, you don't, right? Because of snow?
Correct. Yep, that is an option after they move in.
Okay. We do a limited lifetime architectural shingle. We do James Hardie siding. So the base product, what you're getting is amazing, but then you can expand on it. So say you had wanted to do like a cedar shake in the front, or you wanted a crow's foot, kind of a rough sawn timber look, or more of a farmhouse look. So you have lots of ways you can modify these plans, especially if you're going custom. Really, the sky's the limit. Like Shari said, we rarely get told no. Um, but if you had wanted to have like concrete and things done on the outside of this house as part of your build, you can choose that option. If you again want to leave that as something that's done down the road, then that's absolutely an option as well. Shari, any thoughts on the outside? I kind of jumped all over the standard right there.
No, I think it's just so the buyers know that we can do, like you said, stucco. I don't know. Can you do stucco in your area?
I can't do stucco. No,
Um,
we're too wet
yeah, I
over
can do
here.
stucco, and then we have the craftsman elevation and farmhouse elevation. So really, the sky's the limit on how you want your curb appeal to appeal to the masses.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's go inside this house. So we will just pause periodically. You might have noticed at the front of this house, they have that temporary kind of a makeshift set of wood stairs going to that front door. Um, and if they had decided to have us do kind of the outside or the finished concrete or a deck out front, that would have, of course, been done and handled. But since they're kind of deciding to do it on their own, maybe down the road, then they need to have something there in order to get that certificate of occupancy. And that's something that their superintendent would just discuss with them, like, hey, you're going to be responsible for these things. So if you're wanting to be more hands-on, if these are things that you're wanting to provide, you can. But it's nice also to have that option of, Adair, just do it for me. All right, so we walk into this. I just absolutely love this view. What a grand entrance.
Yeah,
You have this really wide foyer, so you can have, like a bench or coat hooks or tables or whatever you choose to put in here as far as furniture, and you're not in any way obstructing the path or walkway or what have you. Just lots of space here. And then just looking straight down the hallway out into the river as you walk through this front door is absolutely incredible.
yes.
You are seeing here, so of course we've got this double story ceiling height in here. But this is a luxury vinyl plank. We work with Shaw for our LVP, and it's just a beautiful, super durable. I want to say this was like a 50-year residential warranty on this floor, so really incredible. because like you said, they're likely going to have a lot of traffic in here. It sounds like they plan to entertain. We've got a slightly upgraded baseboard here. It's a 5.25 inch beveled top. So this is what we call our architectural set. The standard today is what we call colonial. It's a 2.25 inch tall. But we just heard that the new standard is going to be craftsman in the very near future. So look for changes there. And then as far as this finished carpentry goes, this trim work, you can call out whatever you want. So say you wanted a stained grade wood, or you wanted it to be a very specific height or style, or really you just say, I don't exactly love your packages. Here's the look I'm going for. And we say, great, we'll accommodate. Shari, what are your thoughts on this entryway before I push play again?
I think you covered it all. I think my focal point was like how grand it was. And then that view all the way out is just,
amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll play this then. So you've got this coat closet here, which we don't go into any of the closets, which I'm always bummed about because I'm nosy and I like to see into those spaces. But just a nice shelf and pole, conveniently located. Across away this den or office space. And these are standard windows in here again, so lots of natural light coming in here. They did continue that architectural style trim around the windows, so full wrap windows. Of course, the standard being that kind of that clean looking drywall wrapped. You can choose to add just a sill and apron. You can choose to do the full wrap. Totally up to you.
Katie, on my screen, it looks I can't tell the paint colors. Do you know if that's a standard package or did they do their own painting in this home?
They did. They had our painter come in. This was before the interior paint was included in the base package. But I want to say they actually did our scheme number 2, I think it is. Is that the grayer of the?
Yes. See, this picture shows me a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It looks very similar to one of our now standard packages. So, and this being at one of our lighting package upgrades, which we have some really cool lights to choose from. And they did the black, but of course, oil rub bronze or that satin nickel being options for all of the packages. And then they must have just a monster dining table that's going to go in this room because this is a really large dining room.
Yes.
And then the dining room, you don't do the walkthrough, but there's a butler's pantry that kind of is like a hallway to the kitchen. So really convenient space there as well. And then that little niche that you love. I love that it has a light in it set up. It's ready for that artwork. And then in here, we kind of touched on it, but in a half bath, in a standard half bath, we would do a pedestal sink. So you'd have a mirror, toilet, pedestal sink, and then your bath accessories to match whatever finish you choose for your plumbing. So they've got that standard satin nickel look in here. And then of course, with our partnership with Ridgecrest Cabinets, you can just call out exactly what you want as far as cabinets are built in. So they knew they wanted to utilize that space to give them some storage. So they asked for this vanity with a drop-in sink rather than that freestanding pedestal.
Yeah, and we'll get to it when we get to the kitchen, but really the sky's the limit we just toured Ridgecrest this week and I didn't realize some of the things we could do, spice racks and pull out trash cans and all these things. That was really exciting to get to know that really, again, the sky's the limit on what we can do for our customers.
Technology, and I'm obviously behind the times on what the inside of a cabinet shop looks like, but the technology in the cabinet shop blew my mind. It was insane what they do in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so primary suite here. They could have had the terrain suited it, or had they had a need, they could have done doors in here, maybe out to a deck with a hot tub or more windows, but the way they have it set up here, they've got lots of natural light coming in, nice big bedroom, nice big windows. And then of course, just straight into that large primary bath. And I do like to stop and pause here for a second. So I did a virtual tour with Sarah, and there was a shower in the plan that we were looking at that was like 12 feet long by 5 feet wide. It was massive, and she called it a party shower, which is hilarious to me. It's a good opportunity to just point out that as far as this bathroom goes, as far as that shower goes, there's so many options. So again, just whatever's going to suit your needs best. They could have, maybe they don't need a tub. Maybe they wanted to utilize that space to make the shower larger, or maybe a splash wall, glass walls. maybe a half glass wall separating the tub and shower, benches, rain shower heads, additional shower heads, niches. So many ways when you're working with your homeownership counselor and you tell them that you want a tile shower, likely they're going to start just hammering you with question after question of way that you can kind of make it yours and make it fit what you're looking for, which is always fun.
Yes. Yeah, because I did notice these guys have dual shower heads, and I would bet a rain shower head that doesn't get shown because they had three
I think so.
levers.
Yep, they have the controls stacked on top of each other on that one side. I think you are right.
Yeah.
Little bench built in there. And then they added that deco panel at the top, which is cute. Kind of pulls in the backsplash from the tub. And the freestanding tubs have been really popular lately. So had you not
Yes.
wanted that tile deck drop in, if you just want kind of a freestanding, oval shaped or square finish, then absolutely those are options. If you want to delete the tub, but maybe keep the plumbing for down the road in case you change your mind, that's an option. And then this vanity. So as a primary here, I'm going to pause one more time. We do 2 sinks in the primary vanity whenever, space allows. So this is standard what you're looking at here. When you do a solid surface countertop like they did, we're going to automatically do an undermount sink. You can do a rectangular if you prefer that kind of more that contemporary. Standard now, we do a vanity light over each sink rather than one centered in the middle. But had they wanted to have, separate mirrors, separate lights, maybe delete the mirror and do their own, or who knows? So those are all ways you can customize it and again, make it fit what you're looking for. They did take their solid surface and just turn it right at the wall and use it as the backsplash as well. So really nice, clean finish look. But for backsplash, I mean, Shari, what do we have? 100 options, 200 options?
Yes.
So many. Imser tiles.
Every color, every style.
Yes, and Imser has, again, because we're partnered with Imser, if you don't see what you're looking for in our showroom, but you find it on Imser's website, we can bring it in. So just one more way. And I would say, weirdly enough, when I do these design appointments, I'm interested if this is the same for you, Shari. Backsplash is one of the hardest decisions people make. I always expect it to be, countertop or cabinets or flooring, but backsplash is where I would say on average, my clients spend the most time finding the perfect one.
I would agree. It's funny that they will have everything picked out and we get to backsplash and then we change everything to go with the backsplash.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I would agree.
It's very interesting. Okay, so just continuing through here, and they kept, you're noticing that architectural trim throughout the house. You can pick and choose. So if you're like, we don't need it in the bathroom window or what have you, or maybe you want craftsman in some and sills and aprons in others and architectural, and that was a weird example, but you can absolutely do something different on every window. And then there, like you said, they've got their still waiting for covers, but they have their future cable or coax connections all planned out and thought ahead of. Okay. So,
which I'm going to say kudos to them too, because I would bet that's one of my number one missed things is that people forget, like, oh, I should have put one here. And then we have to do a change order out in the field and we get it done. But like have those plans ready for us so we know how to help you best throughout the experience.
It's so much to think about though. It's so
yes,
much.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're pausing here, of course, because we both love to talk about kitchens, and there's a lot to talk about here.
This island.
Let's just start with that. Well, a couple things. So Ridgecrest Cabinets again, and I would encourage you to look at their website. They've got kind of this lookbook where you can see projects that they've done. They've won awards all over. I mean, they do really amazing work. So what you're looking at here, this is a standard cabinet. So it looks like a paint. It's a really dark stain. But our standard being a recessed panel, stain grade beach. So really nice standard to start with. But from there, the sky's the limit again. So if you have a very specific style or color or idea, all kinds of upgrades available to you because the cabinet shop is amazing. So things to see here. We've done the gourmet kitchen appliance package, and we'll get to see the rest of it as we turn. They've done a customized island with this curved edge. There's so many ways and things you can do to the island. You could step it, you could put drawers in the back of it, you could have a breakfast bar on one side so it's actually lower, you can change the shape. The island is just, again, I keep saying it, but sky's the limit. So as long as there is space for a walkway around it, you can do whatever you want with that island. And I think now in maybe almost all of our plans, an island is standard. There's a couple that maybe have a peninsula, or maybe just one that still has a peninsula.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them have the island now.
Mm-hmm. Um, they've done that full height tile backsplash in here, and they've got just a glass herringbone that is beautiful. They could have, had they wanted maybe a paint on the island and a stain on the cabinets, they could have done it. Um, or different countertops, or, just throwing out ideas on ways if you're looking at this and you're like, I wish that for me, this would have been better. Likely it's an option. But I will say, as far as cabinets, the most popular changes I've been doing lately are open shelves or extending those upper cabinets all the way to the ceiling. Trash drawers have been really, really popular. What about you, Shari?
Same. And then glass doors, glass ready doors for them,
Doors, I love
to have
that.
for their display. Yeah.
Love that. And then again, so just like in the bathrooms, because they did a solid surface, that undermount kitchen sink is standard. We do, as far as appliances go, we do provide them as a standard. So when you're seeing our base package or our base price, it's including Whirlpool brand stainless steel appliances. This is an upgraded package. So they've got 2 wall ovens, they've got that 36-inch gas cooktop and that 36-inch under cabinet hood, and then also a built-in microwave and dishwasher. The refrigerator you'll provide yourself, but we will do all the accommodations for it. So the plumb line and the electric. And then as far as appliances go, I like to point out again that if you have a package you want to bring in, if there's some that you want to purchase on your own, we can accommodate. So we'll ask for specs, we'll make sure the cabinets and the electrical is all there as it should be, and then you can provide your own. So there's options, again, just making it fit you and your needs. Shari, what else should we touch on in this kitchen? I don't want to move away from it too fast. It's so pretty.
Oh, I was going to touch on again. I keep coming back to electrical for some reason today. I love how many outlets are on the back wall there. And I
Mhm.
know that there's going to be one on each side of the island. That way, I mean, you really have so much space to do whatever you want to do in this kitchen. It
Absolutely.
really is a great kitchen. I wish that pantry door was open so I could
I
see in there
know.
too.
I know. I always want to go in the closets. Okay, let's keep this playing then. They've got that luxury vinyl plank again in here, which is a waterproof floor, not water resistant. So, um, perfect. They've just got it all set out again for the kids and the entertaining and just people in there nonstop. It's beautiful and clean, but it's also super manageable and low maintenance. Love that light package, the pendants over the island. Okay, headed down this hallway again. We've got this, those doors are so cute, the 2 panel round top. And then they went ahead and did levers on all the doors rather than the standard knob. And both are available in multiple finishes. So had you wanted to carry that black finish throughout the house, absolutely, you can. They've got
I
this,
just love this enhanced utility room. All the
yes,
space for throwing the clothes out there and folding them over there, and
yes.
even to send your kid to do a craft in there versus having them do it on the kitchen island.
Totally. Yep, I agree. And then that nice big, you can barely see it over here, this drop-in utility sink, which always convenient, always so useful. But I do want to point out too, they've got their electrical panel in here. So on this house, they don't have an attached garage, which usually we would put the meter on the side of the garage and the panel inside the garage. Because their garage is detached, they went ahead and have their meter on the outside of the house and their panel in their utility room. And then there's places it can go. So dependent on the property, depending on where your power is coming from and where you want to see that panel, you can choose to kind of move it around. Then we've got a full bathroom here. And this one I'll pause again because everything is standard in here. So we've got an upgraded countertop. Otherwise, this is all what's included in the base price. You've got that, again, that beach cabinetry, you've got the tub shower combo, the tension bar, the tension rod. So, and then with those satin nickel fixtures, the Moen, it's just classy and cute and clean. My computer really struggling the second time through, apparently. Maybe me pushing pause all the time is discouraging it. I really like how quickly you knew that you would build a quick attack.
Oh, yes.
You thought
My
about it.
husband and I have it drawn out.
Have you done a full quote for yourself and everything?
I have, yes.
I love it. Okay, in this bonus room, lots of natural light coming in, like Shari pointed around the first time. Gosh, it's like it wants me to keep talking about home quotes. I would say before, because we built with Adair, before we ordered the house, I probably quoted myself 50 different times. I was having so much fun doing just
Yep.
quoting it over and over for myself.
I agree. And it's funny, I went from loving the Winchester to
Mhm.
finding the Klickitat, and then I totally changed everything on colors I would do and everything else. So, yep.
Mm-hmm. It's funny too because people will come in and you think you have your dream home all designed and thought through, and then people will come in for design appointments and you're like, oh, that's a great idea. I love
Yeah,
that. I mean, it changes everything every time.
exactly.
Okay, we've got this upgraded shaw carpet in here, which as a standard we do a shaw carpet. They went for one that was a little denser, a little plusher than the standard. They were really specific on how it felt on the feet. And then this is what that walk-in closet, which had they wanted to do like a closet system or a closet organizer, sometimes I encourage people to just kind of delete what's there and leave it a blank canvas for anything you want to do down the road. But then sometimes, depending on how busy our finish carpenter is, he's willing to quote those things as well. And is it the same for you, Shari?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yep. And then the second primary bathroom. So again, 2 sinks would be standard in here because it's considered a dual primary. The mirror's not in yet, but you can see they've got this kind of pretty finish bar. So to match the finishes in the bathroom. So had they done black, that would be black. And then they kept that solid surface backsplash again. Fiberglass shower insert, which now we do with a glass door rather than a tension rod. However, if you prefer that rod, if you prefer the shower curtain idea, you can absolutely delete the door.
I was going to say, you said these buyers wanted softer carpet, and do you ever have buyers that like put all the carpets on the ground and walk on them and things like that? See what feels better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, knock them on top of the carpet pads and determine which
Yep.
they want as well. It's a good
Yep.
idea. Yeah. So this bedroom, again, we don't look in the closet even though I want to. In that window, just looking down straight at the river again, just beautiful view there. Architectural trim, full wrap windows carried throughout. We also just learned we had a get together the last couple of days, so that's why Shari and I are all excited about all these new things coming. But recess lights are the LED kind of the faux cans are going to be the new standard in all common spaces, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There's that fiberglass tub shower again. That would be the standard in any non-primary bathroom or non-half bath. That would be that unit that you just saw.
I love what this being a custom home, how they, I always keep talking about their windows too. These last 2 bedrooms, how they scoot them to the side so you could put a dresser on one side
Mhm.
without obstructing the view that they obviously are trying to
Agreed.
get at.
That again is just good foresight.
Mm-hmm.
The fireplace, so fireplace like tile showers and cabinets are somewhere are kind of an area where your homeownership counselor would ask you just tons and tons of questions like, do you want a raised hearth? Do you want stones around, tiles around, maybe shiplaps around, maybe no's around? Do you want a mantle? What do you want your mantle to look like? How tall do you want your surround to be? So and then like, as far as the fireplace itself, electric or propane or natural gas or wood burning or pellet. So just so many ways to customize a fireplace. And this, I'm curious, I should have asked more questions about what's happening down here in this unit.
I feel like that'd be a great cold storage area.
Yeah. I'm interested in that the plastic on the ground. What's happening under there? But this just a big, and if you do have kids or family that come and visit, I mean, what a perfect space where you can kind of send them all downstairs, be as loud as you want, play your games. You've just got this giant open bonus space. And then if you were to choose to have a bedroom down here, bathroom, they are all set up and equipped for it. It's ready to go.
Yes.
You can see that exposed stepped foundation coming down the side, which is kind of cool. Hopefully we'll get a good view of it from the outside as well. And then just that river view, mind blowing. It would have been cool down here too to maybe do one of those really big multi-slide doors where you just have just a wall of glass looking out at the water.
Oh yes, for sure.
Okay. So I'll push play one more time, let it play through, and then we'll kind of talk about the process and steps and how it all comes together, and then we'll let you all go. If there's questions, please kick them our way. We're going to be kind of monitoring. We'd love to answer any questions you have. And then Shari, as I'm talking, please interject with questions if I'm leaving something out as well.
Now, is this a detached garage? Is that done by Adair?
It was done by Adair. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yes, I agree. Which is a good point. So you could call out if you want a single car detached garage, if you want a double car, an RV, if you had wanted attached as well. So lots of ways to get that secondary structure there. Or even, a garage with living quarters above, or an ADU, or so lots of really great options right now. ADUs have been such a big thing here, so I'm excited to see that we have all these standard plans available.
Yes.
But okay, let's let this play. So Adair, as you know, has been around for a very long time, close to 55 years, or right at 55 years, or just under 55 years. So been around. They know what they're doing, but they've also found all these ways to simplify the process and break it down and just make it very user friendly. So we have what we call our 6 simple steps. So should you decide to pursue this, we've broken down into 6 steps in order to order a home. So first step being, we want you to have a financial plan. So we have in-house lending. We have Adair financial systems. Maybe you are someone who wants to pay as you go. Maybe you're a cash customer. Maybe you're working with outside lenders. There's lots of paths for financing, but we want you to have a plan. I just realized systems instead of services. I don't know why that just hit me. Adair financial services. But we want you to know your budget. We want you to make sure you're comfortable with what your monthly payment's going to be. So we want you to have a plan for financing. If you are working with a lender, we want you to be pre-qualified. And that really just kind of sets the tone, or sets the kind of the goal for the entire process. So you need to know your budget in order to start planning. Shari, what are your tips or tricks as far as that financial approval and getting that first step done?
I just tell my buyers it's such a great way to figure out what our budget is for the whole project, because, especially if they don't own land or something already, it really gives us an idea of what we can allocate to land and the house and site development, which you'll talk about in a moment too. So I just think it's really important, and especially with Adair Financial Services, where they do a soft credit pull, so it doesn't touch your credit at all. It's a no harm, no foul if you decide, hey, we'll wait a year and build this up a little bit more, or, we're ready to roll right now. So I think it's just something that I tell all my buyers. It's just important to be able to move forward, whether it's this year or tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that you pointed out the soft credit pull with Adair Financial, because it's, again, just a good planning tool. Maybe you're just casually thinking about building and you want to know if now's the right time. They can tell you, like, hey, based on debt to income, based on this, here's what you're qualified for. But if you do this, this, and this, you can get to maybe this point that you'd rather be at. So they can give you those tools. There's a lot of big brains over at Adair Financial, which I love and take advantage of frequently. And then another thing about them, since we're talking about them, being that they are kind of exclusive to Adair, they have just continued to evolve their program and their processes, like we have, to better suit that clientele. So they've got these amazing programs, amazing rates, amazing, just so many options. And they tend to be where most of my clients are heading lately. I want to say, what were they saying? Like 80% of our builds right now just end up going that path because their rates and their programs are unbeatable. So they are worth a discussion for planning, but also there's a good chance that you're going to love what they're saying.
Exactly. And like you, to piggyback, they only do Adair loans. So they really know what we're looking for and what we need to be able to move the process along more smoothly than someone else per se.
It is such an asset having them in house. It's been really amazing.
Hmm.
Okay, so you've got your budget worked out. You know what you want to spend. Step two is finding property. So what we do a lot of times, people come to us and they're like, "Hey, do you have land? I want to go see your land." And we don't. However, we have partnered with realtors who are just really strong at vacant land purchases. So we found these amazing realtors. Every location, every homeownership counselor can tell you, you know what? Here's someone you can call. You can feel confident they're in good hands. They've got their ear to the market as far as vacant land availability. So again, we can be a resource to you as far as finding that land. And then your construction loan is intended to pay for it. So there's a lot of kind of misconception about how a construction loan works and what you have to pay for out of pocket. But the idea is that the loan pays for everything that goes into this project, so the land and site prep and house. So you get your pre-qual, you partner with one of our realtors to find that right property, and then it's all just rolled together into one project. And Shari, what are your thoughts? Being that you were a realtor, what are your thoughts on our realtor partners and that as a resource?
I think, when you're trusting your homeownership counselor, they have someone that they trust to work with, because a lot of work goes into that land purchase, making sure you need a well or septic or power and things like that. And your agent, if you have a really good qualified one, they're going to do all that due diligence for you. That way they can help you through the process and make sure that piece of property is viable to build on, because we don't want you to get stuck with something that isn't okay to build on either. So, and I think that's why that our buyers, our clients rely on us to give them a good agent. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
mhm,
And then another thing, so you find the property, you make an offer. We are going to take advantage of that due diligence period. So
mhm,
your realtor will know, your agent will know that with a vacant land purchase, you want to ask for a due diligence period or a feasibility period or a refundable earnest money period is the idea in general. And then we want to best utilize that. So while you're in that grace period, we want to send our site services team out to the property. And this is step three. So we want to get out there, get boots on the ground, understand your vision, understand your future plans, and just make sure this land is a good fit for what you want to do. There's times that we get out there, and, like based on the build square footage, based on setbacks and easements, maybe the house you originally thought you were interested in isn't going to fit. Or maybe there's some complications to this land that you maybe just don't feel like working around. So the idea is that we get out there and we give you this information, and then you can say, you know what, I think we want to look for another property. So you'll get your earnest money back and you'll continue the search. Or maybe we get out there and we're like, oh, you know what, the vision that you have is going to be perfect. We can work around that. This is ideal for what you're looking for. But one way or another, it just gives you that confidence and that peace of mind, like, hey, yeah, okay, we're on the right track, or no, let's go back to the drawing board.
yes.
Property valuation thoughts and feedback, Shari?
They're just really important. I love getting out there with my superintendent, my buyer, and I don't know about you, Katie, but I love to get my excavator out there and possibly the well guy. So we all are on the same page throughout this entire process. Uh, Again, to make sure it's a viable lot for you.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. And every property being so different,
Yes.
so the second cost in the program, of course, you got the cost of the land. The second cost is what we call site development. And we want to be able to present to you like, okay, based on what we're seeing here, here's the work that needs done. And like Shari said, in getting her contractors out there can be a bid package put together. So okay, if I move forward with this property, it's going to cost me this much to develop it and get it ready for the house. And again, you're still in that due diligence period. So should the budget be more than you were planning for, you have that option of maybe looking for a new piece of land. We have,
Well, as we had talked about during this video, this video is on slope, so they ended up going with a daylight basement, right? And so that's where that property evaluation really comes into play as well, because we're able to figure out, hey, do you have slopage? Do we need to add additional foundation? Or, hey, I didn't realize I could do a basement. Yes, let's go ahead and add that in there because we can.
yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely. Totally a necessary step as far as planning and making sure you just fully understand your land and your build and what it's going to look like and what it's going to cost and timelines. Um, let's see here. Property valuation, site development. I will touch on as far as site development, as far as getting those bids together, which is step 4, that we have a new site services program, which is working its way to Shari and I's build locations.
Yay.
But the idea is that there's no longer going to be any work or steps for the buyer. We're basically going to send our team out there. We're going to put together the bids. We're going to present to you all things considered, everything that needs done here. We're talking to the jurisdiction. We know if you need soils testing or any specific surveys done. And then we're going to say to you, here's the cost. Should you decide to move forward, we're going to do all of it. So you're going to sign contracts and order the house, and then we're just going to take it from there. Which is amazing. And we do kind of a modified version of that right now in most of our locations. But the idea of just like kicking your feet up and watching your house get built is ideal. And we can't wait. We're so excited for it to come to our branch.
So excited.
Okay, so at this point in the process, we just finished step 5. So you know the cost of the land, you know the cost of site development, you've decided to move forward, so you know what's left in your budget for the house. And that is when we want to have you come in and do a full design appointment. So we are crawling through this house and we are, making modifications to the cabinets and the outlets and maybe moving walls, and determining where you want a plank floor and where you want carpet and all that stuff. And it's so fun. It's so fun. It's my favorite. Shari, love them.
My favorite. Yep, my favorite.
So you price out everything you could possibly want in this house. You get your full quote back. You decide, if you want to make any modifications from there. And then now you're at a point where ordering the house is kind of a 2-step process. So the first step is you're going to request your concepts or your drawings. So our drafting team is going to take all of the changes you've made. They're going to incorporate them into the drawings, and you'll have a chance to look at it. Like, does this make sense? Is this how I envisioned it? But once the quote is perfected, the drawings are perfected, you order this house. So 6 simple steps. And then I would say kind of in closing, I guess, that it's never too soon to reach out to a homeownership counselor. So if this is something you're casually thinking of, maybe you're looking at pre-built homes and you're just not finding what you want, you're getting frustrated, you want to know your options, like reach out. We are just wells of knowledge at this point. Ask us questions. If we don't have answers, we know who to refer you to. If this is something you're thinking of 2 or 3 years down the road and you just kind of want to get a plan together and make sure you understand what to plan for, reach out. Absolutely. We're happy to sit down with you, walk you through the process, answer all of your questions, and just talk about how to make this happen. And Shari, what are your thoughts there? What did I leave out that you want to chat on?
No, I was just going to say that is a really good point. And that's whether you own land already or you're looking to buy land, or your mother-in-law might be moving in with you in 3 years. So you want to start planning for that. Really, that's what we're here for, is to help guide you and make sure that you are moving in the right direction for yourself. And that's all we really want to do. That's why we're homeownership counselors. We're not salesmen. We want to just take care of you and help you plan your future.
Perfect. Yep. That is such a perfect closing note.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's been really quiet as far as questions today. So
Yep.
Maybe we'll take that to mean we were very thorough. But thank you everyone so much for joining us. I've been really excited to share this house. It's just a big, beautiful house on the river. But we'll be back. We have more coming. So we will see you again very shortly.
Sounds good. Katie, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.